What is up, everybody? Saltiest Gaming, and we're back with another podcast, TSP episode 13. What is up, panel? How's it going tonight?
Good, brother, good.
Let me open up the window here. So what have you guys been up to?
Me playing around with the X a little bit. Not as much as I want to, but hey, do it when I can.
So do you want to tell everybody about the story? Didn't you get a little surprise from your missus?
Oh yeah. I had to cancel my pre-order, and so I told y'all that, and I put it on Twitter, and lo and behold, when I came home, there was a box on the porch, and I put that up there on Twitter too, and I was like, man, what is that? And it was addressed to her. And I suspected it was for me because she had hinted at something about me making me feel better or something. And I opened it up, and sure enough, it was a Scorpio edition. She had pre-ordered one like at the same time I did, just in case I couldn't pay for mine, and she just never told me.
Man, dude, so that's cool, man. Did you give her a high five and some flowers? And
stuff? Oh yeah, most definitely, brother. High fives and other things.
You showed her you released the beast.
Yeah, I released the X monster.
Never mind. We'll let that one go.
All right. So
I'm going to let that one go. There's a joke there, but I'm going to let that one go.
No, I was tweeting. Is Fonz in here? What up, Fonz? What's going on?
What's up, Fonz?
What's up, guys?
So I made a joke on Twitter a couple times. I'm like, the Unleash the Beast. It's easy. It's an easy joke, So is what it is. Thanks for everybody stopping in early. We're gonna get it popping tonight. It's gonna be a good
popping.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. I think the topics that we have tonight are pretty controversial. So yeah, stay tuned. It's gonna get pretty salty pretty quick. So anyway, what have you guys been playing this week? Let's start with.
Hey, I'll be right back, guys.
All right, Jago, what have you been playing, my friend?
Well, last night, I was playing some early or late, ever you want to say it, but I was playing some Titanfall 2 with my boy Stinking Corpse, and he's in the chat. What's up, brother? And then yesterday when I came home, got off work, I tried Call of Duty World War II, and I tried Evil Within 2. And earlier in the week, I tried Quantum Break again, and tried Tomb Raider a little bit, and everything that was enhanced. I tried to a little bit, with a little bit of time I have. So, but yeah, I mean, just trying the everything enhanced so far.
That's good, man. So Titanfall. Huh? So anyway, sorry. I forgot to introduce our special guest, Dark Goldblum. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, man.
It's been a long. Let's just say it's been a long day. Okay, watching my kid all day.
That's all good, man. Hey, I understand it's the weekend. You want to chillax and play games and do what you want to do, and I understand. You got things you got to do. So yeah, man, I'm happy to be here tonight. I'm glad you invited me. It was pretty awesome. I'm ready for
it. So what have you been playing, my friend?
Dude, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins. Absolutely love this game. It's so much fun, dude. I've just been basically just running around doing like side stuff and basically picking up collectibles and things like that in the game. I haven't really delved too much into the story, but I mean, I'm sure I'll get to that eventually. Yeah. Also been playing COD, of course, just because it's boots on the ground this time around, and it definitely has that COD feel. It's definitely a COD game, but I definitely am enjoying it a lot more than I did Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare last year. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of my gaming.
So you've been buying COD every year? You didn't stop buying it for a while? You just been playing through, or?
No, man. You know what the thing is I started with COD when it wasn't even popular. When people weren't even buying it, or well, they were buying it, but it wasn't like hugely popular when like Modern Warfare came out. I had the ones from World War II, and I started COD like early days of COD, and then I always like the campaigns in the game, so that's why I always pick them up. And the only one I didn't really like was Black Ops 3. That campaign was terrible, but other than that, the campaigns have been pretty good so far.
So, like, do you think you could rank it within the CODs right now, or you got to have more time with it?
Yeah, I could rank it. I mean, I would say it's probably, honestly, like with campaign wise, it's probably maybe number 5, maybe somewhere around there. I would say probably, if multiplayer wise, I would say it's good, but it's definitely still COD. So I would give it probably, probably in 6th or 7th place, somewhere around there. Because I mean, it's not like the original like Black Ops or Black Ops 2. Those games are amazing.
Cool. Well, thanks again for coming on. Nick, what have you been doing, my friend? I heard you are making a transition. You're transitioning into the Nintendo market. Is that true?
Attack helicopter?
I thought it was a different transition.
Transitioning into attack helicopter.
Yeah, he's transitioning, but he's transitioning to the Nintendo community.
I thought we were
trying to get in there.
To
He's
start calling her Nikita.
I mean, it's not really much of a transition. I'm just trying to be more, I guess, versatile. And that, I mean, you get more. Try to help out the podcast as much as we can, and get a grander, broader audience. So, and I just got to switch, so that gives me an excuse to kind of do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm trying to kind of dive into the small community that is Nintendo on YouTube.
So we'll take a poll by the chat. So what comes first? Nick Fury gets monetized, or Nintendo takes his channel down?
Nintendo will probably take his channel down.
A really good question.
Type 1 if he gets monetized first, or type 2 if they copyright strike his channel into the ground.
Thanks.
So
it's Nintendo, bro.
Yeah, if you did,
I hear you.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, Nintendo is like, it's crazy. I don't know what they're doing on YouTube, but
dude, they are nuts, man.
Woo. I mean, props to you for taking that dive for the team. You know what I'm saying? So
Nintendo hates free advertisement.
Yeah, did you? Hey, Nick, tell that story about that guy you watch on YouTube. How he knew he was going to get his stuff.
So there's
basically.
So there are two YouTubers that I watch that both put up Super Mario Odyssey reviews this weekend. One was Video Game Donkey. He's pretty popular. Pretty sure a lot of people in the chat probably know who he is, but he put up a review, and he had, when I checked it, it had 2.8 million views on it. Woo. And that video, as soon as he put it up, they already marked it for demonetization, and he knew that it was going to be demonetized. He put it up anyway. And then another YouTuber that I follow, the Black H.O.A, I was telling Saltius about it. He had 30,000 views, and he got a copyright strike as well, and they demonetized his stuff too. And so, dude, they are ruthless out there.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm saying, like, 2.8 million views, like, good Lord. And like, that's just unreal. And like, and nothing he said in the video was like negative. All he did was praise the game. Like, he literally, like, everything he said, there was nothing wrong with the game. He praised the game and like went through it, and they still demonetized it.
Yeah, to put it to, like, I don't know, everybody's different on YouTube, but like, put it to a money value, he's probably missing out on about 30 plus grand.
So shade. You put it in the chat. Nintendo cost Donkey at least, he said, $2,000.
No, it's more than that.
It's probably more than that. It's got to be way more.
I follow Donkey, and he's hilarious. So his channel's fine without that. He probably knew.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said that he
based off of the video,
but he just wanted to do the video because he loved the game. But he said that he knew it was going to get striked, and he put it up anyway. Like you said, his channel's going to be fine, but he just went ahead and did it. I just think it's crazy. Also, don't forget, we are also announcing that giveaway today too.
Woo! Yep. Get hyped.
Woo!
So, hey, I don't know how Nick's doing that giveaway, but you have a great chance to win Battlefront 2. Okay, if you follow the directions, maybe it's going to be you. Okay, so Fonz, what have you been playing? I heard some good things about certain games that you've been dabbling into.
I've been playing that beautiful X machine, and let me tell you, it's everything that I thought it was going to be, and a little bit more. I really think that honestly, right now is as much as a seamless transition over to this console as I've had, and with all the games that I've been playing that have impressed me, I will go on record as saying this is one of my favorite consoles of all time. And
I agree.
It really is like Microsoft put out a hit here, and for anybody to talk badly about this thing, it's just crazy. But anyway, but what I've been playing on it is a bunch of stuff. I went through a bunch of stuff, checking out older games, Gears of War 4, Ghost Recon, a bunch of games. But one game I've been playing mainly right now is Assassin's Creed Origins. The game is amazing. It's so good. It's finally an Assassin's Creed game that I like. Like, I haven't liked an Assassin's Creed game since part 2, I think.
Wow.
Since then, I really didn't care for the others. I didn't care for the setting. I didn't care for the gameplay. This one, I love the setting. I love the combat. The gameplay is much improved, in my opinion. Some people don't like the change in combat. I do. It's more kind of like Dark Souls, but Dark Souls light. So, I mean, don't expect Dark Souls.
So less raging.
But yeah, the combat is better, in my opinion. So
Fonz, I actually have to absolutely agree with you on that. The game is just amazing.
And on the X, it's incredible looking. Holy shit, guys. Seriously, jaw dropper.
Are we talking Game of the Year status here?
For me, it's up for Game of the Year. Yes.
All right. There you have it.
I'd put it up there too.
Dang. Bold. Yeah, see,
the story is good, man. The story is solid. And even some of the side missions, some of them are ridiculous. Like, oh, I need to find my eggs,
Yeah.
But you still have some good, solid side missions that actually pertain to the story or help further the main story along, and also reflects on the character himself. I mean, it's a good game, man. This is a solid title. You can see where Ubisoft taking the extra time off to make this game, it was well worth it.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's interesting because you're talking about how clean the game looks, and it's not a full native 4K. And you were talking about, and it's technically 30 frames per second. So it's interesting to see, because I was just playing Rise, Son of Rome, because it's been in my backlog for 4 years. So I was like, dude, I got to get this out of my backlog. I just have too many games. But that game, for some reason, just looks really clean, with the textures. And I heard the resolution was knocked on, but I don't know. A game doesn't have to be native 4K to look good.
No, but it damn near hits 4K and damn near stays up there almost the entire game. It dips down. The lowest it dips down to is high 1700p. It's basically 1800p is what Digital Foundry said. That's the lowest dip it goes down to, and that's when it's real chaotic on the screen. But other than that, man, it's the clarity of this game just blows me away. And that's one thing that I find very impressive about the X is the overall clarity of every game I've thrown at it. It just amazes me.
So Jago and Fonz are going to be our, people that are in the know, the X experts, because the rest of us don't have the X yet. And I tweeted out, yes, I know I'm a fraud because I'm an Xbox channel and I don't have the X yet. But you guys will have to get over that. So let's talk about Jago. So can you piggyback on top of this? How did it feel like to get your X on your mantle or wherever you put it? What was the experience of turning it on? I just want to hear from you the way it went down for you. What did you play first? And what's your impression of the system?
You probably can guess what I played first, but anyway,
I know.
dude, it was
Let me guess, Titanfall.
Yep.
Hey, you need to be sponsored by Titanfall, dude. I'm telling you. But
I am down. Respawn.
You need to be an official Respawn game tester.
Yep.
Good Lord.
Yes, sir.
Seriously.
Man, it was seamless. Take it out of the box, use the S cables, which I know I take that back. I used the HDMI cable for the X. That's the only thing I switched out. I used the S power cord. It was newly day one update. Easy. You know, I didn't have an external hard drive hooked up to mine because I'm kind of like, well, if I'm not going to play the game, and I know I'm not, I'm getting one now. But if I'm not, I was, you know, for years. If I'm not going to play the game, I'll just keep it in the cloud. If I ever want to play the game, I'll just download it. And so I had to re-download.
Let me touch on that a second. Jump in just for a second about the external hard drives and putting games on there. I've heard from some people with it might be just certain hard drives, but some external hard drives out there, some people that are playing straight off the external are having some issues sometimes. So a lot of people are recommending just play your game off the internal hard drive. So I don't know what's going on with that, but some people are reporting crashes and stuff like that, where they're not getting it on the internal. So who knows? It could be brand specific, but I don't know. Go ahead.
Did you guys?
Other than that,
go ahead.
No, man. Other than that, it was seamless, and I tried Titanfall, of course, and dude, I mean, I don't know if they've updated the patch, that 4K patch, but even with that shit patch that Digital Foundry said it had, dude, the amount of detail still. I mean, I got a 4K TV, so
Jago,
I mean,
you know they patched it again, right? It's running perfect now.
I mean, I thought I had read that, but I'm not. I mean, I wasn't sure if if I was hallucinating or just dreaming. No. I had read that somewhere.
No, I'm talking about. I thought you were talking about Titanfall.
No, Titanfall.
No, I am.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, that's what I was talking about. Titanfall. I mean, even with that patch they said it had, it was crap. I was still blown away. The detail. I mean, if you got a 4K TV, there was. I mean, you can. At me and Speaking Course were playing, and I was just like, I got in my Titan. And you're looking down the barrel of your gun. And I told myself, I swear to God, all these scratches and little details in the gun itself were not there on the edge. They couldn't have been. And I mean, it just looked amazing. Then I tried, I mean, the game itself, I love the game. But then I tried Quantum Break. It looked like somebody had taken a wash rag and washed off all the soap scum off the game because everything was so crisp.
Good.
And I mean, the detail you can see in their faces. The game looks like a totally different game now. And then, I mean, Call of Duty, what I played last night, just a little bit. I mean, it blew me away. I don't know how much more they can go to make games look any more like a movie, unless you're actually watching the movie. It looks good. I don't know how far they can take that, unless you're playing an actually interactive movie. But it looks so good.
That's exactly why I wish that it had a better CPU in it for 60 frames, because that would be the best case scenario. Because the graphics themselves, the clarity, the overall look, the details is beautiful. Titanfall 2 is gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and I played a little bit of that too, and I was very happy with it.
I'm gonna agree with Fonz, and I put this on Twitter. Telling people, look, man, this console has blown me away, and this is and I've had like a lot of consoles, almost every one known to man, and I've sold in almost every one because I was young and stupid. But this is probably, if not my favorite, one of the top 2 favorite consoles I've ever owned, because Microsoft, believe it or not, they've knocked it out of the park with this machine. I mean, it blows my mind every time I turn a game on now.
And it's not just for the games too. It's everything that goes along with the console. You know, you have form factor. This box is small and it's got so much packed in. And honestly, mine stays relatively cool. And I've been running mine for hours on end, and I don't even hear the damn thing.
I don't hear mine either. Mine is whisper quiet. And another thing I was going to touch on too, and Fonz can agree, the load times are so much better.
Yes.
So much better.
They're cut in half. cut in half for sure. Like Assassin's Creed, oh my god, those cutscenes. I mean, those load times aren't anything on there. It's so fast. And I have to say though, that one of the best features that I really like about this machine is the DVR capabilities. Holy crap! This thing is able to record 4K HDR at 60 frames per second. Right now, there isn't a capture card on the market that does that.
I'm glad you brought that up, Fonz.
For Microsoft to put that in this box, that alone is a feature that is well worth the freaking money, man. It's amazing. Like I've been using that capture card, and I've been just putting. What I do is I put a thumb drive in the front, a 3.0, little thumb drive, and I download up to an hour's worth of gameplay, take it out, put it into my computer, and I'm just blown away at the quality. It's just it's amazing. Yes, there's compression there, but it's nothing like the PS4 Pro, because the PS4 Pro, when I download stuff at 1080. The compression is so bad with that stuff. It doesn't look like 1080. This looks like damn near 4K.
If you're doubting that you're not going to be blown away, or doubting whether you should, questioning yourself whether you should get an X, don't question yourself. Get one. You will be blown away when you turn it on and actually get to play some games.
There's no question.
I'm telling you.
My pockets have questions, but I don't have questions.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
Nick, that's that. Hey, Nick, your pockets would have been just fine without that Nintendo, buddy.
No, that was a decision made by the CEO upstairs, not me.
Gotcha. Okay.
It came from upstairs.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that you guys got the first hand impressions there, and it sounds like amazing impressions. It's nothing less than I've heard, but we've been hearing some negative things, and I want to touch upon the hardware problems. The fact that I'm not going to go into specifics here, but we've all seen it on social media and YouTube. There's these random videos that people will post and say, I can't believe I bought my Xbox One X and it died a day later, a couple hours later, and then people run with this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But let's talk about new hardware and early adoption for a minute, okay? So is it something that people should expect, that there's going to be these little problems? Because I feel like some people expect perfection, and that's not going to happen when it comes to early adoption. So I'll just ask the panel in general, have you guys heard of any hardware failures or any, things going on with the hardware in general? And should it be expected? I know I'm not trying to say that, we can give a pass for this, but I haven't heard too many issues when it comes to the X and hardware. So.
Well, I personally know four people that had bricked X's. And that's kind of unusual to actually know of 4 people. You know what I'm saying? That the odds of that happening are pretty damn high. It's low, and it's low. 4 of them. 4 people that I actually know have brick consoles. So that kind of scares me. But at the same time, like looking it up online and stuff, I'm not seeing droves of people out there saying mine's bricked. So it could just be a crazy coincidence that I happen to know 4. You know what I'm saying? And one guy who had the same issue as the rest of them, and I'd never asked the rest of them this question, but he said all he did was replace his power cord that came with the X with the S cord, and it worked. So I'm wondering if there's just an issue with the power cords themselves. If that's it, that's not that bad at all. That can be replaced pretty quickly, and it's not that much of a
the power cord I used was the S cord. Did you use the S cord on yours, Fawn? I had no problems out of mine.
I did too. I used the S cord.
Huh. Yeah, and I haven't had any problems.
Interesting.
No problems at all.
What has Microsoft said about bricked consoles?
They haven't said anything. They're not gonna. I don't think they'll mention.
Yeah, the 4 people that I did know, yes, there were all Scorpio Edition consoles. But like I said, one of them, it was the cord. And I heard other people saying that as well, that it's a cord issue. So maybe that's it. I don't know.
More than likely.
My console isn't messed up, but I actually my controller, the left trigger's screwed up on it. But see, that's the thing. I got the Scorpio edition, and the problem is it's like I said, it's just a trigger, so I'm not too concerned about it. because like if I go to use my warranty on the console, I gotta give that all up. And of course, I want to keep the Scorpio editions. Like I got the Elite controller, but yeah, like my left trigger on the Scorpio controller is like stuck. So, but like I don't, like I said, I don't really use it. So. Like I got the Elite. That's the only issue I've got. But other than that, like I've had zero problems with that console itself. Like it runs perfectly. I can't even tell it's on half the time. Like it doesn't get hot.
Yeah. Glitch, we talked about our experiences with the X real quick. I just want to hear from you, your experience plugging the thing in and what you play first real quick, and what's your take with the whole thing.
Personally, like I said, I got a bum controller, which, you know, like I was going to use the Elite anyways. So I've got the Project Scorpio Edition controller kind of framed as like a keepsake type thing, you know, because that's what we knew what this console was. So, but the instant I turned this console on, dude, fired up right away. I didn't even know if it was on. I was like, is this damn thing working? It was so quiet. Like I constantly would touch it and it wasn't getting hot or anything. I had zero problems. Everything moved and functioned properly. I actually, first game I jammed was Assassin's Creed Origins. And the game looks fucking amazing. It looks great. Then I went to Wolfenstein, and then I went to Evil Within, and then I kind of got sidetracked. I haven't gotten Forza rolling on that. I know that's one I want to get going on it, but all in all, the functionality, everything responding, it responds quickly, it moves super fast, loads up super quick. I have had zero issues with the console itself. Like I said, I've got the controller that's janky, but other than that, it's just a keepsake, just to say that I have the Project Scorpio edition. The main thing I want was that system, and as of right now, I have zero problems with the thing. Everything is responding, moving quick, and working the way it should. Sometimes even faster than I think it should be. But I think definitely, if it is something you are looking to invest in, I would say yes, do it. If you want a powerful machine like that, yes, definitely invest your money into it. It is going to be worth every ounce of money you spend on it.
Yeah, it definitely is. One thing I did read on it that is kind of bad about the console, and this is a fact because I've checked it myself. This is the only knock I have against it, and for me personally, it doesn't do anything against what I use it for, because I have a standalone UHD Blu-ray player, but I've heard the UHD Blu-ray player sucks in this machine, and I can attest to saying that there is an issue with it. Forbes just did an article on this. It has a kind of a grayish tone to the black levels. The blacks aren't really deep black like it should be when you watch a movie. And I think a firmware update should fix that. So Microsoft should get on top of that, because I do see that myself.
We were actually talking about that before the podcast started, Fonz. And if you're buying this thing to think it's going to have a top of the line, like, you know,
no. But the black level does need to be adjusted there. There's no excuse for that.
Oh no, I mean, I agree.
Brought down. Yeah.
If it's just a software update, hopefully that's just the issue there. But I did see that article. I browsed over it. But like you were saying, the fact that we can stream in 4K and capture 4K. I know Elgato's coming out with a 4K capture card, but that thing is going to be pricey. Okay, I have an HD 60 right now that does 1080 60, and that thing was like, what was it on Amazon? Like I got it for like 130. So who knows what the 4K capture card is going to cost, and that's just thrown in. That's just a feature,
exactly,
right?
Bro. Yeah. So what blows me away, man.
What bothers me is that the media and the negative Xbox guys are going to take that and run with it. It just like the issues with the consoles, Brick, and that's going, as much hate there is out there for Microsoft, they all going to run with these few little negative things, and they will hurt the sale for some people. They will make some people not buy this thing, and it just irks the shit out of me.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, because like that type of misinformation, like Fonz said, he was like, okay, it could take a simple update to patch that, but nobody's going to go out of their way to say that. No. They're going to be like, well, the Blu-ray sucks. Why are you going to spend X amount of dollars on this? The Blu-ray doesn't perform right, and then they're going to be misinformed.
Yeah.
So, which a 5-second update could fix that, and then it's like, oh, here it is. You know, none of these machines right out the gate are 100% perfect, but of course, there's so much against this one, so anybody's going to take the ball and roll with it.
Well, on top of that, I just want to point out that I just did a search on bricked Xbox One X's. And what I find funny is if you do this under Google, anybody can do this, you can see that the same article is being written about by the same person whose X got bricked after 2 days. It's like the same story over and over and over. So don't think that it's like a bunch of stories about a bunch of different people. This is like one story being circulated amongst the media. And as far as the brick console goes, it looks like there is an article already written out there saying that the power cord could be the issue there. So I guess that is probably the issue.
Yeah. Basically, I think the problem that people have is that red ring of death from the 360. You know, it's weird because that was so long ago, but people still remember that. I have a couple of friends that totally wrote off the Xbox brand after that because they bought like 2 or 3 consoles. I don't know if you guys had the experience with the red ring of death, but it wasn't a good thing for the company, and it lost them millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll be honest. I had like 7 of them, but I love that machine so much.
I had 5 and I left the brand.
See, so Fonz is an example of the hardware issue, and I know for a fact that we're not going to have anything on that scale again. Microsoft's not going to let that happen. Like the R&D on this console, it's not going to happen again. So if you guys are on the fence with the X and you're hearing some of these hardware issues, you got to understand that the Samsung, what was it, the Galaxy Note a couple years back came out and it was blowing up. The battery is blowing up in people's pockets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like technology is one of these things that you could do as much R&D as you want, but it's going to have issues. It can have software issues. It can have little hardware issues. The smallest little thing,
you know, it's every piece, piece of tech that comes out, especially when it's brand new stuff coming out.
Yep.
It always has a failure rate. There's always going to be a certain amount of consoles that are going to fail like this, or a certain amount of tech that's going to fail. And that's just to be, you know, expected. That's just what everybody has to understand when going into something like this. If you're one of those unfortunate people that had your console brick, I feel bad for you, but at the same time, like it happens. Shit happens.
It's not even just with technology. It's with like cars. I knew somebody who bought a brand new car years ago, and the transmission was bad in it day one. I mean, it's anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
So
you know, here's the thing, like you guys are talking about the bricked Xbox One X's and stuff like that. We got to understand that like nowadays, of course, this stuff is going to be prevalent because we have YouTube, we have Twitter, we have, you know, so many other things. But when the 360 was out, we didn't have that much. You know, it was like, you know, we didn't start having that stuff until like maybe 2007, maybe a little bit later. So it's just like when the 360 was out, it was like not prevalent. So like the red ring of death was like, oh my gosh, you know, biggest thing. But at the same time, it really wasn't because Xbox was still doing really well. But yeah, man, I mean, like the X, like Fonz and Jago, what you guys been saying, like it sounds like it's gonna be that console that's just gonna grab you if you had the Xbox before, or you're like looking to have like a new system. I would suggest if you are thinking about getting a new system, get the X because of that. Because it sounds like from what you guys are saying,
Dark.
it's
I have
awesome,
to back you. I have to back you up 100% and say that. And I've said this on another podcast. If anybody is looking to get into the Xbox brand and they're looking at the Xbox One S, do yourself a favor and save the money or pay the extra money for the X, because you're doing yourself a total disservice going with that S. And
right,
I'm telling you, it's like apples and oranges with these two consoles. It's night and day. It's like, you know, you can compare the Pro to the X, and that's fine. The Pro, you know, does do a great job against the X. It holds its own, let's say. But if you're going from an S to the X, it's like a different world.
It's night and
completely
day.
different.
It's night and day.
Okay, well, I think we've touched upon that issue. It is what it is. I mean, it's early adoption. Don't expect perfection out of this technology, but it is something that, you know, we can look forward to in the future. The thing that the vapor cooling, okay, first of all, people are talking about the weight of the console, which I don't think that they're like, oh my God, this console's so heavy. And I'm just like, well,
Unless you're a 12-year-old little girl, you shouldn't be complaining about the weight of a console.
We all know that there's a lot of 12-year-old little girls on Xbox and
where are you
YouTube.
Taking this console anywhere? Where are you going to take it to dinner? What's going on? Like,
right? I mean, like, you're not going to put it in your backpack and take it everywhere. You know, it's not like we all live in San Francisco. No offense to anybody who lives in San Francisco, but you know, we don't all take our consoles to, like, you know, our friend's house. We keep them at home, and then we take our hard drives and put it on our friend's console. You know, like even PlayStation does it now with the external hard drive. Like, you can take all your games to your friend's house. You don't have to take the whole damn console with you. So I don't understand this whole weight thing, because guess what? If your console on the way to your friend's house gets broken, then that's on you. You know, that's not on somebody else. You know, and you're complaining that it's heavy, and it's because it's in a backpack. Like,
our PC guys,
well, then don't take it anymore.
Our PC's guys complaining that their rigs are too heavy. I mean, come on.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, someone needs to do a YouTube video with them, like a montage at the gym, like curling their Xbox.
I work out with my ex every day.
It's like, first I hit the shake weight, then I curl my Xbox. It's like,
I mean, let's be honest. How much more heavier is it than the S?
So somebody in chat said some people stack their things together. You know, stack items on top. Do not do that. Do not put your expensive items.
Yeah, that's not going to work out for you very well.
It even tells you in the manuals not to do that in just about everything you buy.
Well, I like. Why would you even think that was a great idea to begin? I'm just going to put this on top of that. No.
Yeah,
I was
just
watching
spend like an
video.
extra $30 and buy a stand.
I was watching a video, and I don't know what video it was or what channel it was, but they were like, yeah, it's got no vents on the top, so you could literally place your S on top of your X. I'm thinking, why would you place another heat source on top of your X? You're an idiot.
Yo, when you said place your S on top of your X, I'm like, some kind of innuendo here.
That's probably why they're getting a lot of these Xbox One X's broken, is because people are stacking them up on each other.
That's how
every card for a minute.
For us guys to actually have an X and the vents are on the side, why would they put a vertical stand so you can stand it up and hide one of the vent ports? I don't get that.
I mean, are they really that heavy, Fonz, Jago? Like, are they really? Is it really that heavy?
No,
I mean, they're not like heavy to the point where it's like, oh my God, this thing is crazy heavy. No, but when you compare it to the S, yeah, it's a lot heavier than the S.
I mean, like,
what about the original Xbox One? Is it heavier than that?
Probably just about the same, honestly.
Yeah, it's got
there you go.
That's like nothing. That's like, are you lifting like 20 pounds? No, it's like what, 10 pounds?
You know what it is? It's because when you see the form factor, it's so small and sexy, and then you pick it up and it's wow, this thing's got some weight to it. But you know what? In my when I'm
Big Mama's got to eat.
When I'm like messing with tech and I feel some weight to it, I know it's got good parts and shit in it. You know, that's usually the case.
Right.
You know,
and it's in a small package. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Pick it up, it's light as a feather, and it feels
big things come in small packages.
It's not horrible.
You're getting what you're paying for it. You know, like that's the thing. You're getting the good parts.
I just don't get that criticism. Like, oh, it's so heavy. Like, I mean,
I don't either.
Bro, it's gonna be sitting on your TV stand for the most part. So
right.
Yeah, my TV stand ain't bitching about how heavy it is.
Right.
So I guess we'll move on from the girth subject for the Xbox One X. I guess let's talk about something that everybody's been worrying about, and that's Xbox One Connect adapters. I'm sure you guys are really really want to talk about this subject, so I want to bring it up to you. Red Dragon talked about this. Is going to be short, trust me. Okay, Red Dragon retweeted this, and I just want to touch upon this a little bit because it's interesting to me. So they discontinued the Kinect, right? The production of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to multiple sites, the Xbox One Kinect adapter is a top 100 seller on Amazon. It's 80th overall in sales, and it's number 34 in video game accessories. Why? Why is this happening? You
People
think
probably nab some Kinects, bro. They got to be. Okay. They're probably like, oh, Kinect's not being made no more. Let me just snag it so I can, have it. I bet you that's what it is. And the people
don't have a hot item because it's discontinued.
Can we just let the Kinect die, please?
Never.
Just let it. I know I probably triggered like half of your audience right there, but just let it die. Come on,
bro. I agree with you, but no.
It's funny to bring this topic up because I know so many people hate it, dude. But it's just funny to me, man. The obvious reason why it's selling so well is because people feel like it's like it's like when a store has a sell. It's like, oh, everything needs to move fast. We're not producing it anymore.
Right.
Okay. Here's the problem I have with the Kinect. It's not the Kinect itself. It's the fact that the thing was $100 in the box and they made you buy it originally. That's what I hated about it. I didn't want that. I didn't need those functions. I didn't need to do all that shit. I can't talk to my TV because my kids are so goddamn loud.
Xbox record that.
I waited to buy the Xbox One when the Kinect was out of the box. And
did you?
Yeah, I did.
Did you ever look and see how much the Kinect was when the Xbox One launched in 2013?
Like
it was $150.
Yeah, 150.
The price is not worth it to say Xbox on, Xbox record that. 150, go jump in a lake.
Xbox record that.
I feel like this news came out to kind of remind people of old wounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird that this subject popped up, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, Microsoft's trying to just like pretend like 2013 didn't happen. They're just trying to get rid of the Kinect, and Red Dragon gets this news that it's like popping on Amazon, and they should like restart up Kinect sales. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they want to throw something at us that, like, hey, the X is doing really well right now, so we got to throw something at them to say, hey,
remember
2013, remember that. Like, come on, man.
I remember that.
So yeah, I bought I was an early adopter for the huge Xbox with the Kinect, so it is what it is. I'm personally okay with it dying, so we probably won't hear much news from it, but I just wanted to trigger some people in chat, get them salty, because that's what this podcast is all about. So
literally the only thing I used it for was Xbox Record That and Xbox On. That's it.
That's the only thing I would have used it for.
And that's great for $100, right?
No.
Hey, extra $100 that you really didn't have to
Xbox record that, because you need to say it at least 2,000 times in order for it to
I know. The voice commands didn't work ever. Cortana is even worse.
Oh my god, I hate Cortana.
She doesn't listen.
She doesn't even listen, and then she pops in whenever you say something weird like breadsticks, and all of a sudden here she goes, and you're like, "What? I didn't ask for you."
And
I had to turn her off completely.
As soon as you guys get your X's and turn it on, it's going to ask you, do you want Cortana to be used?
No.
Yeah. Oh, God.
No. Go away.
I was like, no, I don't want that nonsense. Get away from me.
Yeah.
So we got a member of the panel that's a PlayStation dude. I call him a pony all the time. His name's Fonz. So Soul Calibur and Devil May Cry are rumored for PSX 17. Does that do anything for you, my friend?
Soul Calibur.
I love Soul Calibur. The series was awesome back in the day, and I don't want this to be exclusive now that I have the X, to be honest. And honestly, I have both, but here's the thing, like, I have the Pro, and it's a great console, and like I said earlier, it's you can compare the two, but the X is a better machine. I'd rather have it on both so I could buy it on the X. I don't care about marketing deals with Sony.
No,
I don't care anymore. Like, this X is that.
Go ahead, sorry. I was just like, I was wondering if there's an earthquake was going to happen or the world's going to end because Pony's saying that the best places to play is the Xbox. I mean, oh man, that's crazy.
Well, I'm no I've never hid the fact that I'm a graphics whore as well as a frames whore. I like my 60 frames, but I also love those beautiful graphics. So I'll be doing all my multiplaying games now, multiplat games here on the X.
So anybody else have played these? I love the Devil May Cry series. Okay,
I'm a Devil May Cry fan, bro.
Yeah, I definitely get behind Devil May Cry. I love those series.
I'm a both kind of guy.
I even like the crappy reboot that everybody hated.
Oh, see, I liked it. I thought it was so stupidly awesome. See, I didn't.
I liked it too. Nobody liked it. I liked it. Like
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at first because Dante looked so emo, but actually after I played it, it looked good. You know what I'm saying?
When that blonde wig flew on him in the beginning, and he's like, "No, not my look."
Yeah,
like, oh.
Right.
But that's the thing. I think with PSX, I don't think they're gonna like. I think this is just kind of to say that they have marketing rights for both of these games. I don't think these games are going to be exclusive to PlayStation. I sure hope not. I mean, I can't really see it being that way, but
I can see Devil May Cry being an exclusive to the PlayStation.
Maybe, but Soul Calibur though, man, it's always been on like other consoles too, so I can't really see it.
But they had different variations because 4 had Yoda and Yeah, like they have different variations of it.
They had Star Killer in one in the PlayStation version, and then Yoda in the Xbox version.
Don't expect. I want to throw this out there into the mix though about all this with Soul Calibur and stuff. But I want to say, guys, as Xbox guys out there, do not think for one moment that this narrative will ever change.
No,
the PlayStations are all about grabbing those exclusives and those exclusive deals. The Xbox, I don't think will ever go back to doing that. I think right now with the first party investment that is going on that they're talking about within Xbox, they want to invest in first party. Don't expect these big blockbuster AAA games. I think you're going to see a lot of double A's and you're going to see the occasional AAA, but exclusives. Sony is going to be the exclusive king. And it's going to continue to be that way. I really don't see the Xbox ever going down that road again.
So speaking of that narrative, there's a lot to say about this whole situation, but the main argument right now is the lack of games. Okay, so there's a lot of things to touch upon because I want to talk about a direct quote from Albert Pinello. If you guys didn't know, he's one of the higher ups on Xbox. He was in an interview and he came out with a statement and said that the Xbox One X is going to have the most launch titles ever for a console. And I looked at this and I was like, what is he talking about? Like, and then a lot of people saw this quote and they're confused because I don't know. What's your guys' take by what he said? Because go ahead.
He's basically doing the same thing that PlayStation did when the Pro came out. He's basically saying the same thing. He's just saying like, "Hey, we got these enhanced games that are coming to the X that you're not going to see on the Pro or on PlayStation, and they're going to be enhanced to 4K. And they might not be full 4K, but they'll be 4K enough that you won't even be able to tell." And that's the thing. Like I read the article and I was all like, he made a lot of sense and he made a lot of, he might have said some things that might have confused some people, but I think at the end of the day, he really didn't say anything that was out of context of what PlayStation was doing anyways when the PS4 Pro came out.
So it's interesting because these mid-gen refreshes are something it's never occurred really in the console space. So is it okay for Microsoft to hang their hat on these enhanced titles, these older games, and call them, games? I mean, usually when I think of games, I think of new games. Like, are these enhanced games? Is it acceptable for them to name them as their game lineup?
Well, I think he saw that PlayStation was doing it, and he figured he could do it too. You know, why not?
I mean, technically,
let's not get it twisted though. When PlayStation Pro came out, they didn't have half the titles that are out for the X Enhanced.
Yeah,
they didn't.
I mean, maybe
because. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's nice that we're getting these all enhanced right now, but they can't bank on that forever. They can't be like, okay, well, we've got everybody so hooked on all of these games getting enhanced and looking so amazing, so that's going to give us, you know, let's run with this a little bit. No, while we're oogling and ogling over these enhanced games, yes, they do need to be working on something to come out. So yeah,
yes, sir.
So, I mean, they definitely right now got people's attention. Like, okay, we've got the most powerful console ever. We're seeing what it can do with these games. Okay, Microsoft, you need to start unleashing stuff that will actually show the full potential of this machine.
Facts.
So you have our attention. So make us like, yeah, I invested in $500 in this, and this is probably the best purchase I will ever make. I don't need, like, you know what I'm saying? They need to up the ante now.
The ball is in Xbox's court.
Yes,
I'll agree. I will agree with PSN down in saying that those enhanced games are for new adapters, and so is Game Pass. We're all just looking at this from our perspective as Xbox owners already. I agree to some extent with that, of course, but at the same time, I think that, you know, to like you said, to lay your hat on all of this stuff, it's fine to have all this great looking games and stuff. It's amazing. It's awesome to go back through our libraries and see all these older games look amazing. But at the same time, right now, this is all a honeymoon phase everybody's going through with this console. Once this is over,
exactly.
Once this is over, we're going to be looking at Microsoft saying, okay, Microsoft, what you got now? Because that's coming. That's coming very soon. You know, the next couple of months, you know, I don't know of what big multi-plats are going to be out, but after the Assassin's Creed thing dies down, you know, we've got a couple of months there where, you know, hey, what are we really going to look forward to? And
Crackdown.
So
let's not get into Crackdown.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, talk on what Fonz is talking about. Like, he's absolutely right. You know, what are we going to have after, you know, this whole Assassin's Creed hype ends? And I think, you know, if they continue to give us the enhanced X stuff for a little while, as long as it's not like past probably 6 months, then that's fine. But if it is past that and they continue to just give us that, then I'm sure a lot of us are going to be very, very angry about it.
Let me ask you something. Is an enhanced Recore going to do anything for you guys?
Right, exactly. No.
No, not really.
I'm saying.
I mean, maybe this will be enough to carry us over until, like, what you said about the 6 months
until
span.
until when?
Right.
Sea of Thieves.
So
go ahead, Tom.
So basically, there was an interview with Phil Spencer that touched upon this game situation, and it's interesting because he basically said he made it clear that they were spending their money on hardware, and now they're going to be spending it on the software side and then focusing on games. I made a video on this. Does it bother you that they were focusing their money and attention to make this beautiful console and not on games? Because it's clear now, and they didn't touch upon it until they released the console. So now they're stating that, hey, we're going to be putting our focus and attention on games, but development for these games takes time, and some people are like, well, that's great, but I don't want to be waiting 4 years when
that's why I said
comes out, right?
That's why I said I think they're going to focus more on AA and indies and stuff like that. I think we're going to see more and more of those. You might see an occasional AAA, you might see another Halo 6, Gears, that sort of thing. But to have a brand new IP, say like Horizon Zero Dawn or something, I don't think you're going to see that. I think Xbox is not going down that road. They don't like taking chances with their own studios doing other things, and that's sad.
That's a problem. Yeah,
and I wish they would just let these studios make another type of game, because it would be beneficial for the platform. But again, this platform throughout the generations, this platform's never been about games like that, like Sony has. The the fans of Xbox are usually the shooter type fans, and so I mean, some games might not sell well. Look at Quantum Break; it didn't sell very well.
Ooh, great game too. That's terrible.
It didn't sell well because it wasn't the type of game that is normally a big game on Xbox. I mean,
it's knowing your identity, and we've talked about it before on this podcast, but truly that's where it lies. Sony knows that they're a single player, based console, and they hit that, and they stay within that realm, and they create bangers, like Horizon Zero Dawn. So
is it me or am I the only one? I started in the era of only single player, so I'm a single player guy too. I love single player stories.
Yeah, me too.
And games, but the gamers now, younger gamers than me, I'm 40. The times are different. So
very true.
I applaud Microsoft for doing what they needed to do with the hardware, but I agree with Fonz. I don't think their head is where it needs to be when it comes to exclusives, because I think they got burned with Rise Son of Rome. I think they got burned with Sunset Overdrive. So I don't know. I don't think they're looking for the big AAAs. I think they're going to try to do the double A's and the indie stuff like that.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
I also think that they're going to go more towards multiplayer than they are with single player stuff. And that's the problem. I think because I'm the same way. I love single player games. Like,
me too.
And it's just like, is it going away or is it not? I don't think it's completely going to go away, but I think we're going to start seeing a lot less of that kind of single player type of game, and they're going to focus more on the multiplayer, like
Good
Battlegrounds and things like that.
Good point. And the reason why you can see that already is just, and this is why I'm not talking out of my ass when I'm saying all this stuff, is because I look to all the interviews that have been said the past couple of years, from Shannon Loftus to Phil Spencer to Aaron Greenberg.
Don't get me started on Shannon Loftus.
They're all talking about these service-based games and these multiplayer games and how single-player games dying. You guys have to put the puzzle together. Xbox is deviating from that sort of thing. They want these service-based games. They're going down that road. Eventually, I think it's going to go the way of the Steam box for Xbox. It's going to be more in that realm. You're going to have the place to play all the multiplats. The best currently it is, and I think they'll always try to stay on top like that. It's going to be more like a PC-like experience for your living room. That's where I think Xbox is headed, to be honest.
Well, that's funny you brought that up, Fonz, because you saw that article where Phil Spencer was talking about coming up with like a streaming service like PlayStation.
Let's talk about that, because Fonz, I want to piggyback. It was the same interview where they're talking about in 2013 they were trying to develop it's kind of like PlayStation now, where you're streaming these games online, and Phil said that the technology is advanced. It wasn't where it needed to be there, but he said in about 3 years we're going to be seeing game streaming services, so where you can stream games online and you don't need an Xbox. This thing, I don't know what it did, but it kind of triggered me.
That is the key word there that you have to really look into, the key words there, because people like to take things out of context when Phil had these interviews. Because when this was first alluded to just last week, people were running around with it saying, "Oh my God, they're going to go to a straight streaming service." No, they're not. Xbox is not going to go that route. What's going to happen is they're going to have maybe a division of Xbox, or some games go to a streaming platform. Say you can just like stream it on an app somewhere to your TV or to other devices. That's the kind of things they're talking about. Now, you won't get the best experience on that. Of course, because it's streaming, but they are trying to appeal to a mass audience, a bigger audience. They want Xbox to be everywhere, it seems. And I mean, that's why they went to the PC. It makes a lot of sense for money reasons, but at the end of the day, is it for me? Hell no. I will not go to a streaming service. I've tried both PS Now and the NVIDIA streaming service on their Shield products.
It's garbage,
I don't like it. It's trash.
It makes a lot of sense for younger people. Me, I will never use that. No.
See, the troubling thing is Phil Spencer. If you notice, when he got that promotion within Microsoft, so he's in charge of gaming. He's not just responsible for Xbox. So he, like, when he's interviewed, he's like, okay, gaming doesn't just mean the console space, and it doesn't just mean mobile. It doesn't mean just PC. Like, he talked about like Minecraft, how it's everywhere, and like it's PC and it's console, it's mobile. The problem with this is, like, you see a lot of people that are hating on the Xbox brand, and they'll use this as fuel, because PlayStation, on the other hand, are focused solely on the console space. Okay, they do have PlayStation Now, but the console space is where they're focused.
Yep.
When it comes to Microsoft, they're spreading out to get into as many places as possible. And if you guys do the research at the beginnings of Xbox, why they started it, why it got greenlit, is because, you know, the big cheese upstairs, he felt like they were getting intruded upon and they needed to push back, you know what I'm saying? So they want to get into as many places as possible. That's why the Xbox is called the Xbox One, is because it's the media center, right? They want you to have it in the living room. They want you to have it on the PC.
You guys got to go back. You got to go back like 3 or 4 years. I mean, almost close to the beginning of this generation with interviews. Well, I think as soon as Phil Spencer took over for Donnie D, everybody's favorite.
Donnie D.
Do you guys remember when he talked about how they wanted to go to a digital service eventually?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, they want to go digital. Even if they do have and I know they will, they'll have consoles in the future alongside these apps with a digital service, and they will offer that digital streaming service on these consoles. But I think eventually they want to go all digital. That's just the route this company is going. They're moving slowly towards that route. That's where they're headed, and it makes sense from a business standpoint, but for a lot of people that just like physical media, man, they're shit out of luck.
I mean, I like having the hard copies.
Me too.
I just, knowing that you have, and I know maybe some people don't like it, but just looking on my shelf and just seeing a stack of games there.
Exactly.
You just like, maybe Jago feels the same way. It's just like, I look at it, it's like, that's accomplishment right there.
Yeah, right. Well, I also think a lot of people feel like they actually own the game at that point when they get it physical than getting it digital, because they're like, well, what if like 10 years down the line I can't play it anymore?
Exactly. But here's the trend I like that I'm seeing from Xbox, with Xbox One anyway. All the games are backwards compat. And that's an awesome thing that Xbox is doing, and maybe that's why they're going towards this route. But they're also thinking ahead. They're thinking in the past. You know, they're bringing all those games with us, which is a great thing, because Sony had fucked up. You know, they had that cell processor and stuff in the PS3. That's why all that shit is on PS Now and not on their hard drives, some people's hard drives on the PS4, because to make those games work. Right now, these next generation consoles, it's not going to work. You know. Wait,
you got to remember, PS3 was very foreign architecture too.
Exactly.
So
So it's you know,
and that's why they had that streaming service.
It's cool. Like, part of it, I understand from a business standpoint, and I like it, and I like what they're doing so far with all the services and stuff. The only thing I do not like. There's two things. One is going towards that whole service-based model, the whole loot crates and microtransactions. I don't like that, but that is the industry that we live in, and it's just.
Let's be honest. Even because I mean, it writing's on the wall. I don't want to admit it, but it is. Even if the way the industry's going, the year we live in, the way everybody's going for digital, even if the way the industry's going, even if you have a physical copy of a game, eventually you're not going to be able to play it anyway. And I hate that. I know that. That's where it's going. That's where it's going.
Yeah, because it's mostly multiplayer. That's why.
Well, don't you have
all this multiplayer
don't
crap.
You have to sign into servers with like Ubisoft games and shit?
Yeah,
some games.
I don't know if you have to do it with the new Assassin's Creed, but I know you do have to do it with a lot of the Ubisoft title.
You had to do it with the Division. You had to do it with even For Honor. You had to sign into the server. So
even if you had the copy, that sucks, dude.
So, yeah, it's interesting to think. I mean, it's a progression thing with Xbox. So I've noticed because I'm new into this community. I only started my channel in June, but there's some people in the community that are of the old guard. I've had an Xbox since the original.
Me too, brother.
And don't get it twisted. I've been here since the beginning. I took a little break when I had 360, and then I came back or whatever. But I've been here, through the whole thing. The thing is people, the whole thing. Yeah, Rastafari. I've been here the whole thing. But yeah, people have problems with they have problems with change. You know what I'm saying? So the fact of the matter is, Colt Eastwood. I don't know if you've seen him. You probably have.
Who is that?
Who is that? He did a breakdown of the numbers specifically when it comes down to exclusives, right? And the adoption rate for the exclusives, and it's about what 5% of the install base that buys the exclusives.
Yeah.
So a lot of people. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
No, keep going. I was just gonna say that that's why I like watching Colt, is because he always gives you those type of statistics and always trying to throw that at you.
Yeah.
So then like what you're getting into and what you're doing.
Yeah, I guess I'm part of that 5%.
I mean, we all like to buy exclusives. I'm not dogging on them, but the fact still remains. The point that I'm trying to make here is, we all want these exclusives, but the way that I'm seeing that Microsoft is going, they see the money is in these third-party AAAs, right? And having the best version of those, because you said yourself, Fonz, that you would prefer to play it on the X because it plays the best here, and that's
does.
proof.
It's an interesting
proof's in the pudding, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting way to go that they're going here with this whole multiplat thing, banking on that, but. Seriously, like exclusives, even though they're 5% or whatever the statistic is, I know myself, I have to have both consoles so I can play those awesome exclusives on Sony, because they kill it with those exclusives. They're amazing.
They do.
And I think one thing that Microsoft does, though, one of the reasons they don't take chances is because when they do take a chance on an exclusive game, it doesn't do very well. Again, you got the Quantum Break, and you also have the game by Insomniac, Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive
didn't sell very well as well, and now they can't even find a place to make Sunset 2. So
nope.
It's true.
So taking a chance is always just that. It's a chance they take, and that's a lot of money going in for exclusive rights. They're looking at it like, hey, we can build the platform with these big multiplats that look the best, and everybody will come to this, and we don't have to put any money out for building those games. So it's kind of a smart thing in a way, business wise, but we'll see if it pays off. That's all I'm saying. We'll see if it pays
that's what
off.
Everybody said for the past 4 years, that the Xbox wasn't as powerful, and that's why they wouldn't play the Xbox. And now the Xbox is more powerful. So
I mean,
what is it?
Well, now they're complaining that the Xbox is breaking and stuff like that.
Right. Well, Fawn said, all they gotta do is, it's the most powerful console, and they use multiplats, and there you go.
You forget, Nick. One narrative works for Xbox, but the same narrative doesn't work for PlayStation.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So, Fonz, I just want to ask a quick question to you, because you wanted to get the Xbox, but was it the exclusives that sold you? Was it Crackdown 3 and State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves? Like,
you mean to upgrade to the X? No. For me, it's all about power, dude. And I've always been that way. That's exactly. But here's the thing, though. I truly believe I'm in a minority of gamer who is like that buys these next, even mid-gen consoles now, because they like that power, that extra power. I think a lot of the gamers aren't like that. I think a lot of the guys that are running their mouth and are very vocal and have been vocal for the past couple of years saying, oh, it's better to play at 1080. I think they're full of shit. I think those people weren't all about power. What it was is the start of the generation. Microsoft dropped the ball. Donnie D dropped the ball. He fucked everything up. And the $500 price console was a big issue as well. And that's really what won the generation for Sony. It wasn't power. The power thing came later. The power was just another stab in the back to all the Xbox fans. That was just another jab they could take. I think that's what it started off with, and it just blew over. It just blew up. And It's just a culmination of so many different things that these guys, these fanboys, just running their mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's what it is. So that's why I'm kind of scared. If it's truly was about power, it should be right now, and everybody should be getting an X. But I just don't see that. I really think that these people were all full of shit and they were just running their mouths. And all their friends went to Sony, so they went to Sony as well.
Yep.
And they're all over there. And yes, right now they are jealous of the power of this X, so they're just going to throw other bullshit in there now. Oh, they're breaking. Oh, the Blu-ray sucks. Just shit like that.
Well, they're saltier than saltiest. So
I know, man. I mean, it's interesting. I wish we could take a DeLorean into an alternate dimension, remove the Kinect out, fire Donnie D before he even started, the launch in 2013, and then make the Xbox One more powerful, make it identical to the PlayStation, and launch them, and don't say all the TV sports bullshit that they did, that horrible conference, and see the way that this generation would have went. If you didn't have the side-by-sides, you didn't have the 1080p versus 720 discussion, the fact of the matter remains that at the beginning of the generation, Microsoft had way more exclusives. They had Rise, they had Sunset Overdrive, they had all these exclusives, Killer Instinct, and all this other stuff. If the power was the same, would it have ended up the same way? That's the real big question here, because this is a mid-gen refresh that Microsoft is treating like a console release. That's the difference as well, because they had this weird little set of numbers that I did a video on this, and they put it on the Scorpio, and they had the original launch of the Xbox, they had the date for the 360, the slim, the fat model, and then they have this one.
Yeah.
And the way that they've been marketing it, and the advertisements, and this whole big party they had for the release, it's been treated like a console release, like the next gen release.
Because it almost feels next gen when you play these X games. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the problem, because it's a conflict of your message. I mean, you're trying to sell this next gen console that isn't a next gen console, but it is, and then you're still trying to appease your audience that has an S.
If you go from an S to an X, it's a next gen console. I'm sorry, they marketed it way wrong. I'm sorry, because an S cannot do.
They couldn't do that. They couldn't market it.
I know that, but the S cannot do or show you anything like the X can. You will be blown away.
I will say this though, Jago. If they had a better CPU in it, this thing would have been next gen.
Oh yeah,
hands
but
down.
The problem is with the CPU prices. If they would have did what they needed to,
it would have been $600.
It would have been way too expensive, right? Yeah. So it's an interesting topic. It's huge. I mean, this is like what we're experiencing now has never been touched upon, and that's why it's such a good topic. Because if you could,
let me add this though. I'll just tell you guys this. Anybody listening out there, if you haven't got the X, if you're on the fence about it, I say go get it. Go get the X. It's it's awesome. You're going to be able to play every multi-plat out there better than anywhere else.
Yep.
This is coming from a dude that has the PlayStation 4 Pro. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's played it. He's talked to me about it. Fonz has talked to me about it specifically. What were you playing on the Pro? It was The Witcher 3, right?
Yeah, and it looks great.
You compared the two, right?
It looks well. No. I didn't compare that to the X, because the X doesn't have enhancements on the Witcher yet. When it does, I will compare the two. But the Witcher just has a resolution bump on the Pro, which most games, that's what it is on the Pro, and it looks clean.
But isn't the Witcher running at 60 frames without a patch? That's what I heard.
I heard it is if you have the disc game. The Witcher 3 is running at 60 frames on the X. Pre-patch though, if you have to unhook it from the online services, because if it patches, that frame rate goes away because it's uncapped on the disc. So that's why it doesn't work on the digital version. But no, I tested games like Ghost Recon on both, and Ghost Recon looks and plays better on the X. It doesn't look leaps and bounds better, but it is better, and but it does run better a lot
Is
better.
the frame rate better?
The frame rate's the same, but it's a locked 30, whereas on the Pro, it kind of bounces up and down. Yep. And I will say this though, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I don't care. Horizon Zero Dawn, very pretty game, very great looking, fun game. I had a blast with it, but people are running around saying that Horizon Zero Dawn is still the best looking game this gen, and I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree, because I have it on the Pro, guys, and while it is pretty, it doesn't have the clarity that these X games have. Like, it's just something about it. It's not. It makes Horizon, these games, like when I put in Assassin's Creed on the X, even though the textures aren't 4K or anything, the clarity, the textures, everything looks so pristine on Assassin's Creed that it makes Horizon Zero Dawn look like a cartoon. Yeah. It just doesn't. It's different art styles.
That's crazy,
but it doesn't look. It doesn't look as good as I once remembered it, because I fired it up and I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn and I was like, I don't see what people are talking about, how it's the best looking game. And I noticed people are throwing up screenshots on Twitter, but what they're doing is they're taking screenshots of like the in-game cutscenes and stuff. And of course, those are always better.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, and of course they look great, but see that thing in motion and see the fogging and stuff that's 100 yards out in Horizon Zero Dawn. There is that Turok effect. I coined that phrase, Turok effect. Okay, Horizon Zero Dawn has a Turok effect where it is foggy like 100 yards out. You see it. I don't see that in Assassin's Creed. I see for miles in that game, and it looks pristine.
Oh my God.
Now you make me want to go and drop this podcast and just go get an X right now, dude.
You need to go get an X right now. I'm telling you.
Like, seriously, load up Assassin's Creed. Dude, like I said, I haven't messed with Forza yet, but dude, Assassin's Creed, like the instant I got that up and running, I was like, what the fuck?
If you are like me and you still have and you played Quantum Break and you put it in the X and it downloads the update, holy shit. Like I said before, it looks like somebody took a rag and wiped off all the soap scum and the unclarity. It looks like a different game. I was blown away. And how much better it loads. Oh my God, dude. I was like, I've got to play through this again. Got to.
It's weird, man. I mean, PlayStation handled the PlayStation 4 Pro so differently, and it's such a different console compared to the X, man. That's why it's just I tell people, I'm just like, you know, the PlayStation 4 Pro was made for the VR, you know, their PlayStation VR headset.
And that's just the bottom line. Yep.
Like when they came out with the PlayStation 4 Pro, it was like someone that they were ashamed to have, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have this huge party in New York and people weren't throwing like, you know, having celebs there, like Ronda Rousey and The Rock and Shaq was there. It's like the good times, you know, like old, like Xbox throwing a party for a new system. That did not happen for the Pro, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference here. So, you know, I'm not going to name names, but there's a dude that is totally PlayStation, and he's saying that these mid-gen refreshes are not going to catch on. But it's hard to say that when the PlayStation 4 Pro was handled so differently than the X.
You know what I'm saying? They handled it like it was a gen console. They did. This release, it was like a next-gen thing for Xbox. But I think that the way they did it was fine. It was a good thing the way they launched it with all the celebs and everything. That was fantastic, because I think that does move some consoles. It does. Mm-hmm. And I will say this. I don't think that this thing will outsell the S, but it will definitely outsell the Pro. And that says a lot, being that the Pro's been out a year. You know, I think it's going to outsell the Pro, and it's going to continue.
Oh, most definitely.
Because
I mean, I think it is already outselling the Pro in a way.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You can't get it anywhere.
No, like, it's flying.
It's flying off the shelves, man. It's crazy how much this console's selling right now.
No, guys. They did that on purpose. They made the demand not so much, guys. That's why they're sold out.
Them to break.
Oh yeah.
It's sold out in Japan, guys. There was only 10 consoles available. Just kidding.
Thousands of people,
guys. Come on now. Let's be real.
Theirs already, right?
11 people in Taiwan.
Oh shit.
It's crazy, dude. I thanks for everybody in the panel, everybody in chat. You guys make this awesome to do. I mean, I talk about it a lot. We're all passionate about gaming, if you can't tell, you know. So I have my mother-in-law. She listens to my podcast, and she's like, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you sound passionate about it." And I'm like, "Well, thank you."
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I gotta give a big shout out to Rand. Rand was listening tonight, so shout out to him. He just hit 10,000
Rand,
bro.
Yeah, he just hit 10K, man, and he definitely check him out. Sub to him if you haven't. I'd be surprised if you haven't heard of him. He hit 1 million gamer score at E3, which what was it, like a couple years ago?
Check him out.
To give you an idea.
You know, you guys check him out if you're into
fake news.
Oh, dang.
Damn.
So yeah, wow. Fonz was a pony in the beginning of the podcast, and he morphed into a bot. Like, what's he gonna be next? A Nintendo person or what?
Dude, I get called a pony one day, the next day Xbox Orelli. It just goes back.
Xbox Orelli.
Xbox Orelli, dude.
Nice.
That's good,
man. I might call you that. Well, it's going to be the last topic for the night. There was a topic that I wanted to get into, but I just don't want to go that route right now. I don't know, man. I mean, it just might get too controversial, so we won't touch upon it. The fact is Shannon Loftus was involved in some controversy with Ryan McCaffrey, who blocked me on Twitter for stupid reasons because he couldn't take criticism. So we'll leave it up to Chad. Do you guys want us to talk about this or not? If not, we'll move on.
No, they want to, bro.
No, they would have.
Let's just talk about it. You already brought it up, man.
Okay.
You might as well.
Yeah, first of all, give me the backstory because I need to know.
All right, so there's a Twitter beef going on between Shannon Loftus and Ryan McCaffrey. Ryan McCaffrey was doing a review on Super Lucky's Tell, the new icon for Xbox. If you didn't hear, right? Super Lucky's Tell is a platformer that's received really bad reviews on Metacritic and all over the place. It's about a 60. It's a low 60 on Metacritic. And he came out with some of these, tweets about his reviews and stuff. And then Shannon Loftus came out and she's like, you shouldn't be doing this. Don't discourage people from playing our game. That was quotes. Okay, that's what she said. She deleted it, but I had to find it on Reddit, okay? Because all these tweets were deleted, but it's something that happened. I understand that on social media, sometimes we say stuff and it's permanent, whatever. But I've given my take on Shannon Loftus. I feel like she's kind of in over her head. I know that Rand is kind of.
Why did she get her feelings involved into that?
What's up?
Her feelings
I don't understand. That's what I'm saying,
bro.
So she is the GM for first party studios, right? She's in charge of this stuff, right? So what she says, her ideas and the direction of first party is up to her. So when Super Lucky's Tale comes out and it's getting smashed by critics and everybody, and then she sees that Ryan McCaffrey's doing his review. And then she makes the statement. It looks bad on her. She is an executive. She's part of the higher ups in the Xbox division.
Yeah. It's bad form, man. She shouldn't have said that, dude. Because look, first of all, he's a reviewer. He's a game reviewer, and matter of fact, he's an Xbox dude. Whether or not you agree with him or not, that's his opinion. And to go after him based on his opinion is really low class. That doesn't look good at all for Xbox. That's a black eye. And then not only that, I heard that after she did that, a bunch of Xbots attacked Ryan.
And then she tried to act like she was defending him. Oh, don't talk bad about Ryan. He's a great guy. It's just like, come on, dude.
Well, it's like, first off, you
gotta walk a line.
Yeah, it's like you open your mouth and you say something, you make yourself look bad, and then of course, you're gonna have people go at it. It's like, well,
what's
first
wrong?
off.
No,
man, what's wrong with Xbox, dude? Like, Aaron Greenberg, Mike Ibarra, Shannon Loftus, All those dudes go after people on Twitter. The only guy who doesn't say a fucking thing to these fanboys is Phil Spencer.
Yep.
I don't understand what their problem is. These are execs. These are guys high up in the company. They shouldn't be running their mouths about anything.
No.
Well, it's because they let their emotions get to them. You know, they let these
Caught
little
up in the
tweets.
feels.
You know, these little tweets that these little like critters on freaking Twitter say, and then they get all butthurt about it. It's like, dude, come on, like you guys are professionals. You guys, you know, work in probably one of the biggest entertainment industry in the world. Pretty much. I mean, it's even bigger than movies, bigger than music. It's huge right now. So let's kind of take our emotions out of it, and let's get back to what really matters, and that's the games. And that's
I know they're trying to connect with their fans, and that's cool. And because Sony doesn't do that, but you got to draw a line of what you say, when you say it, and if you say it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's the thing. So Shady said he was saying more things on Twitter bad about the game. Well, you know what? It's his opinion. People say bad things about games all the time on Twitter. Do you think an exec in the company should go after him? No.
But I also don't think Ryan McCaffrey should be going on Twitter and bashing the game and trying to get people to well, not really technically trying to get people to not buy the game, but I think
I disagree.
He should kind of hold himself back from
I disagree
actually trying to
because
do that
here's what I've said on another podcast about this situation. Friends don't let friends buy bad games. Okay.
That is
so. So I will be vocal about a game. If I don't like it, I'm going to put it out there, and I will warn people, hey, don't buy this game if it's not good. But I will give you reasons why. You know what I'm saying? And
he's a professional himself. You know, he's a professional at a huge
man. That's loosely. He's not
magazine company. You know, he's you know, IGN is one of the biggest media companies in the world right now. And he's out there, you know, kind of bashing things and saying things that he probably shouldn't say.
I mean, it comes down to there's no separation really between his personal account and his work account, right? On Twitter.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing then. Oh, okay, you're Shannon Loftus. You don't like what he's doing. You think he's going overboard. Then you DM him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
agree. Yeah,
exactly.
It could have been more DM, more
it's
behind
just
closed doors.
It's a bad look for Xbox because I saw a lot of PlayStation dudes being like, well, "You do not see this when it comes to PlayStation."
The thing is, it's like, it's okay to be passionate about something. Like, okay, we're passionate about the podcast. Yeah, you know, somebody's going to say something. Okay, like, hey, your podcast sucks. Well, yeah, of course you're going to say something, but in private, because the instant you start putting somebody on blast and something, they're going to be like, whoa, this dude's kind of being an ass. What the hell? Yes, it's okay to be passionate in what you like. Okay, you see, like Loftus, he's bashing Lucky Tales. Okay, well, I don't like it. I mean, I want to voice my opinion. Yes, I'm going to do it behind closed doors because I am representing a company that, I'm making products for and has such an awesome fan base, but I'm going to kind of put myself on blast and make it look bad because I'm throwing myself out there. Yes, you do have to watch what you do and what you say. It is okay to be passionate about what you create and what you make, but you also have to watch what you do as well.
It's common sense, man. If you're if you're in a position of power, you've got to hold yourself in a little different light and watch what you say, or if you say anything. You know what I'm saying? Xbox has got enough negative as it is. You don't need to make more negative towards Microsoft and Xbox.
Perfect.
Right.
So
especially with the negativity that's been going on.
I just thought I found it interesting that happened because I'm not a big fan of Shannon. I think she's out of touch personally. So it's just another example.
Don't get me started on her.
But we've talked about it. But the last topic that I want to touch upon is the third-party marketing deals that these companies have. I did a video on this, so I want to end on it. I want to hear what you guys think. So Destiny 2 is getting a 4K patch. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Shocker, right? So if you guys in the community,
what the hell you say?
Twitter had a meltdown after E3. It was sometime in the summer. I don't know when exactly it was. Bungie came out and they weren't talking about 4K enhancements. This was when right after the X was shown on stage at E3. They didn't mention the X, and they didn't talk about anything, right? So all these people, media, everybody in the community, just ran with this narrative. It's like, okay, PlayStation gobbled up all the third-party marketing deals, and Xbox only has Assassin's Creed Origins, and they have Shadow of War. PlayStation's going to undercut the Xbox One X because they're not going to be able to show off the power. And then the main narrative that I wanted to discuss is they were saying that because Sony had the third-party marketing deals for these games, they were somehow going to go to these developers and to these publishers and give them money on the side and say, hey, don't put that 4K patch and make that game look good on the X, make it look worse on the X. We need to look better on the Pro. But fast forward to today, in the the present, Destiny's getting the 4K treatment. Call of Duty is getting Call of Duty World War II is getting that treatment. Battlefront 2 is getting that treatment. So let's talk about it, guys. Is that narrative that third-party marketing deals are really important, and they're going to hold back these patches, or what's going on with this story?
Well,
you guys,
first off, I think Fonzarelli kind of helped the Destiny 2 get that 4K patch there. Because I know he's a huge Destiny 2 fan. But I think this whole thing with them, kind of, saying that these games were going to, well, they weren't really talking about these games getting that 4K patch, and kind of, they were kind of beating around the bush because they had these marketing deals with Sony.
Exactly.
And I think, all of us kind of knew, at least because we're all big, huge gamers, and that's why we wouldn't be doing podcasts and things like that if we weren't. I think, we all kind of knew that this was going to happen. We were going to get these patches anyways, but I think, for the most part, like the casual people and people out there that wanted to like maybe see something like that happen for the X, I think they were kind of like, well, if it's not going to happen for the X, then I'm not going to get it. But now I think they kind of know, like, hey, we're going to get this 4K patch, so I think I'm going to go out there and buy it.
I was one of the first people that was telling people that were running, doing these podcasts. Oh, I'm not buying this game because it's not going to get a patch. And I was telling them, yes, you will. They can't say anything right now, but you're going to get that patch. Just stop. And here's the funny thing. The hilarious part about this situation is, Salty, is that the games that you mentioned that have marketing deals with Sony have 4K textures and stuff on the Xbox version, on the X version, but the one game, Assassin's Creed, doesn't. It only has the resolution bump that the Pro has. So isn't that odd?
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
It's crazy.
So are these marketing deals worth the money that Sony's paying? I mean,
no.
In retrospect, I just want to get your guys' take.
For the extra content, I think it does sell. It sells on their consoles for like Twitch users and stuff. They always want to have all that extra content for their subscribers and stuff. So
I mean, the proof's in the pudding, Fonz. I mean, are you going to buy a game because they're going to give you a T-shirt or a poster, or are you going to buy a game because it's more powerful?
No, I'm talking more about having extra content within the game. Because look what happened with the original Destiny. I think Xbox just finally got like the whole game recently.
Just now.
There you go.
Launched.
But that's like an extreme example. I don't know how that marketing deal was hashed out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. I've never seen something on that level. But like
on the whole, I agree with you that marketing deals aren't really worth it. I don't like them. I'm like Phil Spencer in that aspect, where I don't like marketing deals because I think that everybody should be able to play the full games like they were intended to be played by everybody on all platforms. That's really how I feel.
So, but Phil gets trashed for his statement there. That people are like, "Oh, it needs to be more cutthroat. Xbox needs to be more cutthroat. They need to get these marketing deals." But the question I'm bringing up is, would you rather Xbox spend money on these marketing deals, or would you rather put that money into first-party titles? I know it's not an and/or situation, but I'm just trying to figure out if these marketing deals are that necessary. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
honestly, I think they should do both.
To
They should really try to do both, and they haven't, because I think Phil is kind of like that kind of guy, you know, where he's like, well, we don't want to do that because we want to focus more on the games that we are, you know, working on right now. And I know that they have games in the background that they're working on. They just haven't been able to announce them because they're still in their early stages. But I think, you know, these marketing deals are hurting Xbox in a way, because you know, a lot of these YouTubers out there that are bigger than us and bigger and with a lot of more subscribers are playing these games on PlayStation, and they're like, you know, I got this new mission for Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And then like, people on Xbox are like, well, where is it? And they're like, we don't have it. So
yeah,
that's true.
I think that right there is kind of, you know, making people.
All right, real quick, guys, I got to run. So it was great to be here, guys, in chat. Awesome as usual. All the usual suspects showed up. It was an awesome time, and it was great talking about this Xbox One X. Guys, it truly is the real deal. Don't listen to the fucking bullshit online. People talking shit or just talking shit. They don't know their fucking from their ass. The X is the real deal. It's a great system.
Thanks for stopping by. You can catch him on RDX and all that good stuff, and a lot of other podcasts. So,
thanks a lot.
All right, man. Later.
Later.
So, I mean, what podcast isn't Jay on?
He's a popular dude.
I'm just gonna say this: a marketing deal is a marketing deal. It's for advertisements. It's for TV. It's for billboards. It's for magazines.
Right.
And most time they don't put a clause in there to say, hey, because they're not really worried about it. They just want the marketing right. So because that's what's going to sell. That's what they're thinking. They're not going to put a clause in there and go, and here, we'll pay you this amount of money so you don't develop extra for our competition. Because a lot of times developers wouldn't do that anyway, because developers want to show off their skill on as much as they can on what platform shows their skill off the best.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that makes them more money. And it enables them to stay in business. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, it all comes down to like with the deals and stuff like this. I mean, we all knew, like a lot of us have a brain function. Like a lot of gamers knew that this was going to happen, but they couldn't really make it official. But up until it was actually announced, I mean, with the marketing deal they had going on and stuff, I mean, it did help sell some of their stuff on the PlayStation, because, you know, they're like, oh, I'm going to get this bonus map, or I'm going to get this extra skin on my gun. Oh, Xbox isn't going to have this, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, and we knew it was coming. Like, we knew. So
unless you were born yesterday, Glitcher, you know just as good as I do. I mean, the X was going to get the patch. It's common freaking sense. X is going to look better. They just couldn't say anything about it because they were under contract.
Exactly.
They can't tell you.
I just don't.
And it's like, okay, well, oh, by the way, what you guys already knew, here it is. It's on paper now. It's out in the open. You are going to have the better version of the game, minus that extra skin on that gun, or this map pack that is going to come out to Call of Duty a month before you.
Yeah. So well, here's the thing. Like, I've never been that kind of person that's like, oh, their marketing deal is gonna make me want to go towards their game on multi-plat. I mean, most of my friends are on Xbox. That's where I'm gonna play. And plus, you know, a lot of the times those incentives are trash, man. They're like nothing. It's like a skin here, or like a few mission here that sucks, or something like that. It's nothing that great.
Am I the only one? Maybe I am. I look at third-party titles. If I'm only going to play them on one platform, I look at third-party titles as being like, hey, that's an Xbox game. Am I the only one? Because maybe I'm crazy.
No, I think you're.
Repeat that. What were you saying?
I said, am I the only one that plays like multi-plat on the Xbox? I look at it as a Xbox game.
No. I am. I'm the same way.
Yeah, I mean, like it.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I was gonna say, because like even some skinny of it, man, like going back, like when these games were getting announced that they were gonna have these marketing deals, and I talked to people, and like I got a bunch of PlayStation friends and I got a bunch of Xbox friends, and I was talking to them. I'm like, hey, this game is gonna have this. Does that bother you? Does that bother you? And I've had multiple PlayStation friends and Xbox friends said, you know what, at the end of the day, I just want that core unit, the game. I don't care what it has, as long as I can play the damn game. And it's like that, yeah. So a lot of people don't even care about some of these bonus deals. They just want the damn game so they can play it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, in the end, with the power narrative, I mean, Digital Foundry is going to be doing a job for Xbox, showing these side-by-side comparisons, and I think that alone is going to sell, these games for some people. So anyway, that's going to do it for the last topic. I know a lot of people are clamoring for this giveaway that Nick's going to be doing. And then we'll do our outros, and everybody will be on their way. So, Nick, I'm going to hand it over to you.
All right. I had a Star Wars Battlefront giveaway going. I think I started it in October, so it's been running for about 6 weeks now. Today is the last day. Congratulations to Jared Lucas. You are the winner of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 giveaway.
Hey,
I'm going to go ahead and post it on Twitter.
I think your thing broke when I tried entering. I think you need to redo it, extend it to let me enter.
Oh yeah.
Irrelevant native wins everything, dude. So he's not one to talk, dude. This guy's...
Yeah. If they do not respond in the next 24 hours, I will redraw for the next winner. So if that happens, stay tuned. Who you never know. Just stay tuned on Twitter.
Yep.
Rigged.
Awesome.
It's funny. All right. Well, it was an awesome podcast. I want to appreciate, I want to appreciate. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. The chat was awesome. The panel was awesome. So let's start off with our guest, Dark Goldblum. Let's do your outro. Where can people find you?
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Animus. You can also find me at the Xbox Live with the same name. You can also find me every Thursday night on the Quest podcast at 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can also check me out on the next podcast every Saturday as well. I haven't been on there for a while, but I'm hoping that...
I was going to say, you hadn't been on it in a long time, brother.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping that everything is situated. I'm sure everything is pretty much situated now that I can be on there more and actually, participate in that stuff. But yeah, man, I want to thank the whole panel, man, for having me on here, dude. It was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks for
tonight.
stopping by, man.
We got a little salty tonight, but you know what? Yep. That's what the podcast is about, right?
Yep. Sure, man. We keep it real. Thanks again for stopping by. Yeah, the next podcast, Quest podcast, just go check them out. They're awesome. Let's see, who are we gonna do next? Glitch, you want to give your outro, buddy?
Yeah. Since I was tardy to the party. You guys can find me on Twitter at Attack Glitcher, and you could also hit me up on Xbox at Attack Glitcher. You can also find me on YouTube, Attack the Glitcher. You could sub there. I got some content up there. I also run a podcast called the X Power Podcast on Mondays at 6 Central Standard Time p.m., which features Salty and Jago. So, and that happens every Monday. So make sure to tune into their sub and all that stuff. Yeah. So I had a great time, guys. Like I said, sorry I was tardy to the party, but I literally hauled ass to get out of work to at least make it.
You true racer did, huh?
Hell yeah. But thank you for always letting me show up and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you again. All right, Nick, where can people find you, homie?
Yep. It's your boy Nick Fury. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, all the same name. I have a Facebook page now. You can go to there like that. And that's pretty much it. Just trying to work my way around, doing this whole, trying to figure out this whole Nintendo thing as well as the Xbox thing. So that's what's going on. And thanks for listening. Sorry I didn't talk as much. When Jay Fonz gets in here, he's really long-winded. and so I like to just let him.
He bum rushes the podcast.
You think that's bad? Try working with K Mega.
Hey, well, I'm just saying, Jay Fonz, he like when he drops some knowledge though. So whenever whenever he talks, you need to listen. So for the most part, I was just listening to everything he said for the most part. So that's where I was the whole time.
Nick was awestruck. He's
awestruck.
A fan of Fonz.
Oh my gosh, Fonz.
Big word.
He's the greatest. No, but he really is a cool dude though.
All right, Jago, let's hear it, buddy.
It's your boy Jago. You know where to find me. It's Killer. Jago. It's Xbox Live and Twitter at Jago Cukin, brother. That's it.
Nice, thank you. All right, well, I'll do my outro and we'll get out of here. Salty is Gaming. You guys are on the channel, so you know what's up. We keep it salty 100% of the time. I say my secret is just to say salty, and that's how I keep it. So anyway, I do Xbox news on the daily. I try to get my content out on the daily. It's not going to be specifically Xbox, but that's pretty much what the content is. I give my opinions on news that comes out. I'm going to be doing, walkthroughs and game reviews and stuff like that once I upgrade my computer. Right now, it's a piece of shit, so I don't do that. Can't run my Elgato at this moment. It's funny because like 4K capture cards are coming out. I can't even run the HD 10, the HD 60 or whatever the fuck I have.
I'll trade you, bro. I'll trade you. I'll give you my 720.
So I mean, hell, I might as well, right? So yeah, I mean that's what's going on, man. You can find me on Twitter. We just hit what was it, 1,700 followers there. I don't know. I don't remember. 1,800.
Congrats, man.
Yeah,
but,
awesome.
Yeah.
You're being modest though. You're looking right at it. You're like, oh my god.
I swear to God, remember, dude. It's weird. Yeah. It's weird because it's like you have your YouTube subscribers and then you have Twitter. It's anyway. It's growing fast. I've only been doing this since June, and the reception's been outstanding. I love the community. I'm passionate about gaming, and I love to talk about it. As you guys can tell, we're all passionate about it. So hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on Xbox Live. My Xbox gamer tag is Saltiest Gaming. On Twitter, it's Saltiest Gaming, but the I is a 1. So anyway, that's going to do it for us on TSP episode 13.
Good shit.
And as always, stay salty, my friends.
Stay salty.
Later.